Hello, everybody. Welcome to our webinar today, SimplAI, Agentic AI platform, Agentic AI for credit managers, deep dive into credit memo generation. Okay, that was a lot of words. What does it mean? Okay, this is webinar 2 of 3 for us. We're putting together a series for you to explain the SimplAI agentic platform and talk about how it is being used in the banking and financial services industries today and going forward. Right now, I'm in view mode. We'll go through, I'll do some introductions and then we'll go through the presentation. We'll move from understanding the challenges you have today with credit memo generation and being a credit analyst to also providing you with an understanding of how AI automates the processes. And then lastly, we'll go through and give you a live demo of the credit memo generation process. Okay, so as I said, I'm Tony DeSanza. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for SimplAI. Along with me is Sandeep Dinodia, who's the founder and CEO of SimplAI. His background is in artificial intelligence and banking technology. And completing our team is Santosh Kumar, our Chief Strategy Officer. Santosh's deep understanding of banking operations and AI implementation strategy forms the basis on how we are structuring our platform. Each of us will be sharing our different aspects of how SimplAI is reshaping banking with artificial intelligence. So let's get started, okay? Before we get started, I did want to also mention that we'll take questions and answers at the end of the session. So we'll have an interactive Q&A. And so with that, please, if you have a question, go ahead and submit it online, and then we'll address it. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to turn my camera off so that this way we can just focus on the slides. All right, let's get started. The role of credit managers is undergoing a fundamental transformation, and AI is at the heart of its change. Okay, historically, we've gone from totally manual processes to using client server and applications to help automate some of the processes. The adoption of AI, though, is driving a paradigm shift in the industry. So to understand where we're going, first let's look at where we are. Sorry about that. All right, so today's credit manager processes, like I said, there's quite a bit of manual processes. So I'll just highlight a few different processes here. For example, verify applications. Process details such as line by line review of application forms or credit cross-referencing provided information with supporting documents. That can get very, very timely or very voluminous in that you may not have supporting documentation. You got to wait. Checking for completeness and accuracy of all fields or identifying missing information or discrepancies, right? So you have time-consuming manual entry, high risk of oversight. For example, if you're missing an application, which runs the risk of delaying closing or just completing on the process. Sometimes you have inconsistent information across multiple documents. You'll see that, and with human intervention, sometimes it's prone to some errors. So what happens? Well, it takes some time to fix. In addition to that, let's look at another process, personal discussions, right? What is the biggest problem with personal discussions? It's actually not having the personal discussion, but it's scheduling the time and going through it. And then the follow-up, right? So scheduling, conducting customer meetings, to preparing discussion points and questions, taking detailed notes during conversations, following up on those discussion points are key components. Common issues are time coordination challenge. You may not be able to get a meeting until, a couple of days from now. And then even then, once you have the meeting, if you didn't take good enough notes, you are missing some things, and then you need to follow up, right? So you have varying quality of information gathered. Taking a look at another process, credit evaluation and offer creation, from doing a financial analysis and a risk assessment, and then pricing determination to structuring the term, are all processes or steps within the process. And the limitations are a lot of manual calculations or maybe some automated calculations, but then going through the analysis can be time consuming. Sometimes the evaluation criteria is inconsistent, and then there's some complex pricing decisions. Lastly, credit memo preparation, from doing an executive summary to financial analysis, risk assessment, and making the recommendations. Current challenges, again, time intensive writing process, inconsistent formats and manual data compilation, and multiple revisions needed can be very time consuming and labor intensive. While these steps are essential for risk mitigation and informed decision making, they are highly resource intensive when executed manually. Now, let me explain how AI solutions like SimplAI can automate many of these processes to enhance efficiency and reduce complexity. So, as I explained earlier, it's manual, time consuming. What we've done is we've built out some use cases and some automation to improve those processes. You'll see processing time reductions, error rate improvements, cost savings, and most importantly, customer satisfaction increases. So, instead of verifying applications, really we're talking about automated application processing. So AI will do real-time validation of all application fields, automated cross-referencing across documents, instant identification of missing information, and pattern recognition for potential fraud, right? So what does that mean for you? It reduces the processing time from hours to minutes, or even days to minutes. Eliminates manual data entry errors. That you obviously manual data entry, you do have some field validation, but in addition to that, it can do the cross-reference validation for you in a matter of seconds. Standardizes the validation criteria, enabling 24/7 processing capability. Okay, seamless document handling. We talked about document handling before, but with AI technologies integrating with OCR for document scanning, machine learning, natural language processing for content extraction. So more voice to text kind of processing and automated validation against databases, both historical, internal, and external. Improvements you're finding is that handling multiple document formats versus what your current system has, you're able to extract data in a much more efficient process, and it'll automatically flag discrepancies. And then with that, you also have a searchable validation and digital archives. I mentioned about the personal discussions, and instead now we're really talking about digital customer engagement, where AI agents can handle routine customer queries and support personalized interactions. Why does that matter? Well, it's going to be for 24/7 customer support availability. The voice recognition software that we have is so far superior to many commercial IVR systems and chatbots. It provides multilingual communication support. And most importantly, it's consistent response quality. You feel like you're talking to an individual. What that does, where's the benefit there, is you've offloaded some of the menial tasks like requesting information and getting those requests. You can make a request and it can automate that for you. And then you can focus on having deep, detailed personal discussions with the individual. Also, we were talking about advanced, credit evaluation. Now we're talking about advanced credit evaluation. Machine learning does the credit scoring. It can provide you with alternative data analysis and includes behavioral scoring models so that you can do dynamic risk assessments. The advantages are much more sophisticated risk analysis, consistent evaluation criteria, faster decision making, and better risk prediction. I touched on credit memo preparation. Now we're really talking about automated credit memo drafting. So the tools are natural language generation, so more voice to text. You have template customization. You can build the templates and AI can automate the entry for you and data population and dynamic content updates as things may change. So you have a much more standardized format, faster generation, consistent quality and reduced review cycles. AI doesn't replace human judgment. It just augments human judgment and allow you to see processing time reductions, error rate improvements, cost savings, and like I said, customer satisfaction increases. So how is SimplAI envisioning, reimagining the customer underwriting process? So first, imagine what's possible. This slide and the next provides some insight into what's possible with customer underwriting. It's one of the most critical and yet time-intensive processes in lending. Today, many institutions struggle with manual workflows, documenting inconsistencies and scalability issues. We redefine the underwriting by using an Agentic AI platform and specifically tailored for retail and commercial banking. Let's break that down. We have 4 pillars: intelligent document processing, agentic pre-assessment workflow, context-aware assessment, and automated credit generation. So with intelligent document processing, it can process more than 70 types of documents in formats like PDFs, emails, text files, images, and audio. In the past, we would have to use a third-party package to do that and then integrate with our applications. AI is faster, much more efficient, and it can mitigate a lot of processing time and provide you with real-time data validation. For example, whether it's a bank statement, tax document, or scanned image, SimplAI extracts this actionable insights instantly with up to 95% accuracy. Pre-assessment workflow. So it streamlines the applicant assessment by automating reference checks, risk profiling, and televerification. Normally, those would be external applications. Plus it creates dynamic questionnaires for personal discussions tailored for each applicant's profile. Think of it as a guided assessment for underwriters, ensuring no critical step is missed while speeding up applicant evaluation. So what I mean by context-aware credit assessment is that it uses advanced AI tools like voice-to-text summarization to capture insights from the personal discussions with customers. But it also conducts bureau checks, dedupe analysis, and bank statement reviews automatically. Imagine an AI system that listens to a customer conversation, generates a summary of their needs, and integrates that directly into the credit evaluation process. Remember the times, it basically eliminates the need to look at your notes because it summarizes it and it does a great job in identifying those actionable processes. And then lastly is the automated credit memo generation, where we generate ready-to-use institution-specific credit memos using customizable templates. The process includes supporting documentation tailored to loan covenants and underwriting requirements. And we'll talk about that and show it to you in a minute. This automation ensures that memos are not only accurate, but also compliant, reducing preparation time from hours to minutes. So what are the key benefits for this solution in our 4 pillars, right? Is faster underwriting cycles. We've seen improvements of more than 50% in document handling and application assessment and credit decisions. We also see an enhanced accuracy and compliance. AI eliminates errors and ensures adherence to regulatory guidelines. Scalability. Okay, it enables your teams to handle higher volumes of applications without increasing headcount, making it ideal for scaling operations. And then ultimately, it's an improved customer experience. A quicker, seamless process translates to faster loan approvals and better customer satisfaction. It doesn't just automate underwriting, it transforms it, making it faster, smarter, and much more scalable. So, we talked about the four pillars and then credit customer underwriting. But another way to look at how we are transforming customer underwriting is how we augment human credit managers. So let's do a deep dive into that. There are four core areas where there are basically AI agents for you: a financial analyst agent, a risk analysis agent, a credit proposal agent, and a conversational agent, right? So think of SimplAI as your dedicated AI employee seamlessly managing these repetitive, time consuming tasks for your team. And so the individual can prioritize critical decision making. So, for example, the financial analyst agent automates the extraction and analysis of financial data, provides real time and accurate insights into borrower financials, enabling faster and more informed decision making. So instead of you going through and looking at everything, you can see a summary very quickly, and it delivers insights in seconds with at least 95% accuracy. A conversational agent is a second thing, and that's really multimodal versus text, voice, or avatars for hands-free access to critical information. A customer contacts you, and your conversational agent can initially ask specific questions and handle routine queries, supports personalized interactions, and enhance customer engagement. By including history of the individual, it can actually ask specific personal questions, such as, how's your family? How's Jane doing today? So whether it's answering a query or summarizing complex credit discussions, this agent makes customer interaction seamless. Credit proposal agent. That's another one of our three, and that's where it automates the credit memo and proposal generation, ensuring accuracy and consistency across documents, and supports customizable templates to fit specific institutional guidelines. Credit memo preparation that previously took hours can now be done in minutes with AI generated, ready to use documents. Lastly, what this gives you is a multimodal experience, a seamless interface combining text, avatars, and ease of use. This isn't just AI working in the background, it's a system designed for intuitive human interaction. So, what are the benefits with all this, right? I mean, we've talked about customer user experience, the customer experience increased, and we've already talked about increased efficiency, where it reduces time spent on administrative tasks and repetitive tasks, freeing up resources for more strategic initiatives, or also allowing those few resources to do more activities. With automated processes, credit managers can avoid human errors and ensure compliance with institutional policies, and continue to get faster decision making. And by automating workflows, institutions can reduce operational costs while improving overall productivity. SimplAI desires to be your team's strategic partner, driving better outcomes while ensuring consistency and speed. Now let's take a closer look at how we can automate the credit memo process. We'll turn this over to my colleague, Santosh, who will go through a brief demo of the credit memo generation process.
Thanks, Tony. Ravish, Tony, can you give me access to be the presenter? Thanks, Tony, once again. Hopefully, you guys are able to see my screen.
Yes.
Uh, o- What we will be demonstrating today is a specific agent we created for the financial and banking segment, right? It is a credit analyst agent which helps augmenting human credit managers, right? As Tony mentioned, right, today financial world is becoming increasingly complex, right? This, while the technology adoption is very high, probably the highest in banking as a segment, uh, but the need for precise, efficient, and scalable solutions is also greater, right? And if you remember, even in our first webinar, we spoke about investments not returning a lot of value in the banking segment, right? That is where I think, and we think, agentic AI can play a very powerful role in augmenting and automating a lot of workflows and reimagining these complex workflows, especially in the credit and lending operations. So imagine this, right? So the agent that you see before screen, while we move and demonstrate it, why we have created, right? We have seen that a lot of times credit managers hassle with manual process, as Tony mentioned, right? Imagine if there's an agent which can augment human intelligence, right, and can instantly retrieve, analyze any specific section of a company's annual report or financial spreading, or kind of summarize the covenant testing for a enterprise, right? Provide deep actionable insights into any of this company's credit worthiness, right, based on its financial data. How easy it will be for credit managers to kind of quickly ask this agent questions on any of the company's financial analysis, any specific questions, deep dive uh, into probably their ratios, profitability ratios, leverage ratios, right? Peer analysis before kind of using all this information and asking the agent to kind of generate a personalized credit proposal as well, right? That's where the agent that you see on the screen, which is called as credit analyst agent, comes into picture, right? So today what we'll demonstrate is uh, majorly three things, right, or four things that you see, right? One is this agent can quickly summarize long financial reports, right? It can be in terms of annual reports which are 80 pages, 100 pages, and contextually summarize key financial information, retrieve information at page level, right, in seconds, and answer the queries that an analyst might have when he's kind of analyzing the credit worthiness of an enterprise. uh, Two, it can also quickly analyze various borrower risk analysis that generally banking and financial institutes do. It can be in terms of financial spreading, it can be in terms of uh, covenant testing, right? And the third aspect is use all this information to create detailed and personalized credit proposals tailored to the agent needs, right? And the other thing is, if you see all these credit managers deal with a lot of documents, right? PDFs, Excel sheets, right? You can upload any of these documents and quickly ask the analyst agent to kind of answer certain queries, right? And it can give you very detailed and summarized answers. Now let's get into uh, experiencing this credit analyst agent that is being powered by SimplAI platform. So what we'll be doing is asking a series of questions, right? We have created synthetic data which the agent has access to, right? Uh, for it to kind of answer certain queries. So let me just type a query on financial spreading initially, right? So there's a fictitious company that we have created which is called as Acme Corporation, right? And I'm asking, and the agent has already access to a set database of companies, right? And currently I'm asking a query which says, tell me about profitability analysis for Acme. So first it has checked whether the company is there in their database, right? And now it's kind of retrieving the information. So if you see, it has given me a very detailed information. So it talks about the revenue growth of last 5 years. What's the growth percentage across years, right? EBITDA and margins respectively, and net profit and margins obviously, and revenue by segment, right? You can also ask follow-up questions, right? Before asking follow-up questions, if you see, there are citations that are coming, right? So you can actually see from where the data is coming from, right? Whether the data is accurate, reliable, right? You can actually quickly see uh, where it is getting fetched from, which page. All this information you will get to see in the citations, right? So now let's ask another question about some of the peer companies, right? And how is it compared with them? So as I said, this is a fictitious data. So that's why you see names like SACME Corporation, Subsidiary 1, Subsidiary 2, Subsidiary 3. So it gives a overview of all the peer companies for this particular corporation. Uh, and then followed by the company overview, right? And what are the industry KPIs for Acme if you see EV by revenue. So you can kind of tailor make this agent to give all the necessary financial information generally a credit manager consumes when he is evaluating a corporation or an enterprise, and then generate credit memos or credit proposals. Now let's say uh, I want to upload a new company into the database. Right? This analyst agent is even built for that. All you have to do is click on the upload, right? So let's say I have a file for a company called John Doe, right? Again, another fictitious company that we are taking to demonstrate this. So now I can actually say add this file to the database for the company John Doe, right? It will take a minute or so and add the entire uh, financial spreading data into the database, which can be used later by a credit analyst or a credit manager to kind of analyze the credit worthiness of that company. So let's rerun this. Let's see if the document has been uploaded or not. So it says that the file is already there in the system, and this is a duplicate, right? So now we can actually also see how many companies are there in the database, right? So it says there are three companies currently in the database, right? There's a company called John Doe, for example, then Sadafco, Acme, right? So let's ask information on Sadafco, right? Probably give us a summary of that and then follow it up by more detailed questions around some of the ratios as well. So if you see, it actually has given me, based on the annual report that is there in the database, right? It is able to quickly give me the insights around the financial performance in terms of total revenue, EPS, gross profit, EBITDA, right? And also around market position and segment performance, also in terms of the key non-financial metrics, right? And you can keep asking follow-up questions as well, right? Let's say it says EBITDA has reached to 429.54 million, leading to a margin of 20.3%, right? So we can ask a follow-up question saying, can you give me a commentary on EBITDA for. So while it states the numbers, it also give you a commentary which an analyst can use, right, when he's actually modifying certain credit proposals, or when he wants to kind of fill this information into credit proposal as well. So it says that EBITDA and its margin indicates an improved operational efficiency, right? The improved performance also reflects a higher earnings from its operational activity, which can be attributed to the lower raw material costs and enhanced production efficiencies, right? So, and you can also actually, as I said, see from where this data is coming from, right? Exactly what kind of report, what kind of data, and which page, so that you can refer for to test the reliability of the solution as well, right? Now we have seen how credit managers can use it for uh, quickly analyzing the financial information, looking at borrower risk analysis from financial spreading sheets and covenant testing. uh, we also will quickly see how you can kind of ask the agent to generate a credit proposal for a certain company. So in the background, you can actually modify your own templates or document proposals, right? For the agent to access and give a very customized credit proposal, right? So the agent can have a sub-agent in the backend which will kind of take all the information from the financial spreading, from the annual reports, right, and generates this credit proposals based on a template that has been predefined and given to the agent while configuring the agent as well. So it will take a minute because what's happening in the backend, as I said, right, it's analyzing each and every details across the uh, risk analysis documents and as well as the financial analysis documents, right? So that it can tailor out a very clear credit proposition based on the template, right? So now we see that. So if you see, this is a summary of the proposal memorandum, right? So uh, it gives an overview, it gives some profitability analysis, reasons for it, right? It analyzes the financial summary in terms of balance sheet, liability, debt, cash and equivalents, and debt and liquidity analysis as well, right? Financial projections, conclusion. While this provides a summary, you get a very detailed generated document within the agent itself, which can help you to kind of uh, automatically generate this credit proposal memorandums and kind of modify it right, all the commercial banks. So you can actually customize this solution according to your needs in terms of how the agent should behave, how the agent should generate this templates. And the other thing is, this helps to augment human credit managers, not replace them, right? So that the credit managers can focus more of their time in terms of strategic thinking, right? In terms of how do we kind of bring certain level of transparency and uniformity to each and every credit proposal that gets prepared from the credit and lending organization, right, instead of kind of replacing them. And that is the core theme of SimplAI as well, to unlock human productivity by 10x, right, using the agentic AI solutions that we are building today. uh, this is a small demonstration of the agent's capability, right? We are more than happy to show a full level of capability, right? You can book a demo by visiting our website, right, where you can actually book a demo, and then we can get into a call to showcase the full capability of the credit analyst agent on how banks and financial institutes and chief credit officers can use these tools to kind of bring efficiency and productivity to the organization. So that brings me to the end of the live demonstration. So what I also wanted to talk about today after the demonstration is some of the customer outcomes, right? That we have seen some of the financial institutions who have executed these solutions with us achieved, right? So as I said, these agents that SimplAI provides, agents and automations we provide, we have seen enterprises unlocking 10x human productivity, right? Uh, Enterprises and financial institutes can easily unlock 10% of incremental revenue with enabling these solutions, right? And we have seen greater than 50% uh, impact in terms of faster and improved decision making, especially for some of the workflows that we have created in the domain of credit and risk and underwriting, right? And also we have few more agents for IT support and IT modernization agents, which help the developer teams save time by 40%, right? They can act as a developer assistant or a coding co-pilot to quickly move your legacy modernization efforts, right, and fasten them. And as you know, banks deal with a lot of documents, right, and in various formats. All our solutions across, right, be it as mentioned by Tony previously, be it the underwriting automation solution or the credit analyst agent, we have seen that these solutions are able to accurately extract 95% of the data, and that too in context aware, right? That means both direct and indirect data, right, can be accurately extracted from various documents, right? PDFs, Excels, right? It can be in terms of audio files from the personal discussions, and match them with uh, match that information that is mentioned in the audio calls or personal discussions with the documents they have submitted, right? And we also have customer support agents which help you to resolve at least 80% of customer queries that come across email, chat, and invoice. So these are some of the customer impact. I also have few case studies which we just saw, right? This is the credit analyst agent. We actually have built it for one of the commercial banking in US, right? So as you know, just to avoid repetition, right, this is a multi-agent system. As I've seen, there's a financial analyst agent which only does analysis of the financial reports, right? Then there's a financial spreading and covenant testing agent which gives a real-time automated uh, spreading and risk analysis from the reports that you have seen. And then the credit proposal agent that you have seen generates accurate customized credit proposals in minutes based on predefined templates. And then you have your conversational agent, which acts as the uh, agent orchestration, which kind of is a multimodal interface. I've shown you text, but it can also be voice and avatar based as well, which which is basically the UI that you have seen, right? Where was having a conversation, and it in turn intelligently called these multi-agent systems depending on the user query, right? Right. And on the left side that you see on the slide is something that we were able to achieve, right? So the solution that we have deployed for a bank, they're using it to process 70,000 financial statements in a year, right? And this has reduced 90% of their time, right, to do this. As I said, it takes a credit manager and an analyst roughly 1 to 2 days to do it. Right now they're able to do it in 30 minutes, right? And which leads to 10x productivity increase for credit and lending teams. And as I said, the idea is to augment this human credit managers and credit operation teams rather than replacing them, so that you unlock the time for more strategic thinking, bring more uniformity to the operations, and more efficiency and profitability. While we spoke extensively on the commercial banking in this use case, we also have similar solutions meant for retail banking. For example, the case study that you're seeing on the screen, we have created an agentic automation solution for retail loans, right? And the fundamental difference between retail and commercial banking is in return roles, it's more document heavy, right? And more unstructured formats, right? That means you have to collect personal information of different documents, analyze them, extract them. While in commercial banking, it is more about getting accurate insights, uh, going deep in depth to understand the financial information, the risk analysis, right? So we have solutions meant for credit and operation teams for both commercial and retail banking. In this specific retail loans case study, what we have done is basically we have created an agentic automation solution. As I said, the challenges remains the same, right? Credit assessment is a very manual and time consuming process, right? And moreover, especially in retail loans, they have to deal with a lot of documents which are inconsistent. It can be scanned, it can be textual, it can be images, right? uh, and where what happens in a manual process, it brings subjectivity, right? Each analyst looks at that information differently, processes it differently, and punches this information in the system differently. So while the document remains the same, the inputs that go into the system is very different and subjective, which brings it to the non-uniformity in the process, right? And obviously the complexity, as I said, uh, some of these loans needs to process 70 plus documents, right? Can have 100 plus checklists depending on the type of loan. For an auto loan, it might be a more smaller checklist versus a home loan, right? Where co-borrowers are also involved, right? Guarantees need to be there. So the workload actually increases, and thereby the complexity, and obviously the scalability, right? Even after all the technologies that we see with RPA and OCR, uh, loan processing, especially in the retail space, still takes a lot of time and is very non-uniform in terms of what documents to be submitted. So that's where we have created this solution, especially for a non-banking financial company based out of Asia, right? So here, what we have done is we actually used an agentic automation which takes all these 70 documents, right, auto classifies them, uh, be it different types, right, PDF, text, emails, right, and then extracts this information, performs basic checks according to the financial institution, right? As I said, every financial institution has a different standard operating procedure. That means the checklist that they would want to do needs to be customized for each bank, right? So the basic checklist were kind of done using this agentic automation. And then also we help the underwriters in terms of their automation. When they do these personal discussions, they have it as an call, or probably has a face-to-face discussion, right? So how do we extract this voice to text and kind of re-verify all the details that uh, the consumer has given with the documents he has submitted, right? Which is a very tedious task. So underwriting automation, especially around the personal discussion, is also included in the solution. And then finally the credit proposal or the credit assessment memorandum, which is called as CAM, right, is generated. Right, as I said before, we have seen 95% accuracy in document data extraction and checklist validation. So what this enables the credit and lending teams is basically, right, use this solution with high reliability and trust, and just have a eyeballing for human intervention to see, because we not just extract the text, we also do it, as I said before, both direct and indirect extraction with accurate mention of where it is extracted from, so it becomes easy for a human to kind of just eyeball and see whether it's accurate or not. And the other metric we were able to deliver from this use case is 50% reduction in time spent on cam creation. All right, as you, because it's a very heavy manual and tedious process, and we there's a lot of inconsistencies in how the credit assessment memorandum is being created, right? So that is being sorted, and also the time is also reduced in terms of creating these proposals, right? And as I said, once you bring in uniformity across the process, you can kind of standardize and scale it. That's where we were able to deliver 100% consistency in output across credit managers. So these are some of the use cases and the live demonstration we have wanted to show today, right, in this webinar. Would love to take some of the questions from the viewers today.
Great. Thank you, Santosh. Ravish, you were
Yeah, hi
tracking all the
Tony.
questions. Do you want to read them
So
and then
there
we
are
can try
some
to answer?
we can pick. So David is asking about how does SimplAI ensure the accuracy and the reliability of AI generated credit memos?
Sorry, can you repeat that question, Ravish, once again?
Yeah. How does SimplAI ensure the accuracy and the reliability of AI generated credit memos?
Right. So we have various mechanisms to do it. Our agents, as I said, have inbuilt mechanisms, right, to extract the data very accurately, especially in terms of context aware, uh, when it comes to financial data, right? And so we also have features like tracing, where you can actually see how an agent is delivering a particular output or a summarization, right? You have citations as well, as I've shown, when the agent kind of gives it out for each of the messages as an output, right? From which document it has taken, from which area or which page it has taken. So anyone who is kind of using the agent can actually see the citations, can set guardrails as well on terms of the credit, to make sure the agent behaves in such a way, right? These are the various mechanisms that one can use to see the reliability and trust factors of how the credit analyst agent is kind of being used.
Yeah. So we have next question regarding security, like how secure is SimplAI for handling sensitive financial data and ensuring compliance and regulations?
Right. So we are compliant with SOC 2 Type 2, ISO 27001, right, already today. We're in the process of other compliances as well, which are HIPAA and GDPR. So all our solutions are compliant. The data, right, is encrypted, and each customer namespace is different from one another. That means we follow a multi-tenant architecture as well, right? That is one. And two is, with most of these industries, especially with banking and financial services, we do offer customer cloud and on-prem deployment. What it means is basically the entire platform or the solution gets deployed into their cloud or their on-prem, right? So that means the data actually stays within their environment, right? Which means it adheres to all the data governance and network security policies a particular bank or a financial institute have.
Yeah, cool. There are another question. Are there any storage limit in adding the data into SimplAI dashboard?
I mean, not really, but it also is based upon the plan and the tiring that which a customer is on, right? Uh, so, for example, we have multiple tires, right? One basically for someone who is just starting with building this solution, right? Where they get a lower level of storage versus someone who is using our on-cloud or on-prem solution where the storage is unlimited, right? So it all depends on which plan and which tile the particular customer is in.
Yeah, right. We have another one question. We have different financial data from across the continents that are in different languages, like Chinese, Italian. Now, if we want to use and put the data in KB, can we still fetch all data in English?
So if I understand this question, basically, if there's a any other language, be it Arabic, Chinese, or Italian document being uploaded, they want to kind of translate that into English and keep it into the normal. Yeah, absolutely right. So as I said, SimplAI as a platform is very customizable and flexible, right? So we build solutions according to the needs of our customer and financial institutions, especially, right? So if some banks which are from Southeast Asia or Africa or any other countries which have a different language requires a language translation tool and multilingual support document upload, it can be straight away provided on the platform.
Yeah, cool. And how efficiency can this be done in this case in the language translation, accuracy and efficiency?
Yeah, so here what happens is when we do this translation, we use specific models which are good at translating to that specific language, right? Uh, so today, if we see most LLM models are very accurate in translating, right? And add to that, let's say even after that, if we still see inconsistencies, we can always go for a fine-tuned model again, which the platform will allow you to kind of fine-tune any of the open source models, right, for a specific language. So you have multiple options again to ensure the accuracy within the platform itself.
Yeah, that's our questions.
I guess that's it. Thank you so much for participating and joining us in today's webinar, where we went through a deep dive of the memo generation process, credit memo generation process. Excuse me. Next week, what we're doing is a little bit different in that we're going to focus more on implementing. Okay, so the first one was really an overview of AI and agentic AI and the Simple AI platform. This one is showing more about using our tool in the process. And of course, with all that, what you saw is a very basic process. With a UI UX designer, you can customize all this for your institution. But next week's going to be about implementing, right? So you kind of figured out, hey, I want to start this process. How do I get started, and what does it mean, and who do I need, and who do I need to train? Obviously, if you've already gone through an AI project, some of this may be um, you know uh, something that you already know, but then we'll focus on how do you do it with the Simple AI agentic platform as well, which is a little bit different than just starting out with a prompt builder or something else. So we look forward to having you participate. There's a registration form on our website and in LinkedIn. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me or Santosh. We're available. We have our contact information on our website. And have a great day. Have a great week. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining in our